Hello and welcome to Oweleketv News. I am Confidence Oko. Thank you for joining us. And now the news headlines. Meeting between the government and labor union over subsidy removal has ended in deadlock. Atiku submits 337 exhibits to the court disputing Tinubu's declaration as president. Nigerians cry out over sudden increase in the price of fuel. And in sports, Liberec signs Nigerian striker Olatunji on permanent deal. Welcome back, and now the news in details. 5 employees, including a deputy director, were fired by the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons on Wednesday for offences involving bribery and stealing confidential papers, amongst others. 1 officer was punished by 1 rank for dereliction of duty, and 2 others were demoted by 2 ranks for accepting bribes from a suspect in human trafficking. The offences include theft and tampering with official records, requesting and accepting bribes from suspect and family, leaking private information to suspect that put the lives of co-workers in danger, and absences without authorization. The disciplinary actions follow the approval of the governing board of the agency at its meeting of May 25, 2023. A statement signed by NAPTIP's press officer Vincent Adekoye, which was read on Wednesday. Moving on to other stories, a safety investigation has been launched by the Nigerian Safety Investigation Bureau after United Airlines plane went off the Murtala Muhammad Airport's runway 18L on Wednesday. The Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority also declared that it will implement the recommendations resulting from the NSIB probe. The event occurred as the United Airlines plane 5NBWW was flying into the airport from Abakaliki, Ebonyi State, with 50 passengers on board. 6 pregnant girls were reportedly saved after Rivers State Police Command officers dismantled a rumored baby factory close to Choba in the state's Obiakpo local government area. At a press conference in Port Harcourt on Wednesday, the state's Commissioner of Police, Polycarp Emeka, revealed this information to the media. Emeka claimed that the accomplishment was made possible by reliable information that resulted in the arrest of the main suspect, Akudo Ozoro, during a raid on the alleged child trafficking home. The 39-year-old suspect and her accomplice were paraded before the media at the state police headquarters, where the commissioner claimed that during questioning the suspect admitted to the crime. He further stated that the main suspect and her accomplice, a female whose identity was withheld, were both taken into custody. We'll now be going on a short break. Please stay with us. Welcome back from the break, and now over to the subsidy story. Following the inaugural speech of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on fuel subsidy removal, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited has announced an increase in the price of premium motor spirit, popularly known as petrol. The initial price was 195 naira and the new price is 537 naira. According to the new price template, Lagos State has a list price of 488 naira per litre, while Maiduguri and Damaturu has the highest pump prices of 577 naira per litre. Reacting to the development, the Nigeria Labour Congress has firmly rejected the price. You'd recall that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in his inaugural speech said that subsidy is no longer valid in Nigeria. Moments after his speech, 4 queues returned to filling stations across the country as a result of the removal of subsidy. Motorists in Abuja, Nigeria's capital, have expressed their disappointment over the current development. While speaking with Oweleketv, some of the motorists say it is a tactical failure and ill-timed.
Yeah, I think this has become a perennial issue, this fuel scarcity of a thing. But I wouldn't like to say that it's fuel scarcity, but it's just artificial scarcity that was created by the marketers, the oil marketers themselves, as a result of the pronouncement of the president Senator Ahmed Bola Tinubu on his inauguration day, he did mention that he was going to remove fuel subsidy permanently. I do hope that he's able to stand by that statement, because this issue of subsidy removal has been an issue that has lingered over the years. If you could remember, when Goodluck Jonathan came into power, he tried to do that in 2012. The trade unions, led by this same government and APC government, led by Tinubu and Tude Bakari and co., they moved against it. They said it was a scam. But 13 years after, we are still in the same process. So it means it's a scam, really. And for every Nigerian that really means well for this country, I think this monster called subsidy has to go. Yeah, I think I'm in full support of it, for it to go. But the genuineness of the government is the problem. That is where we have doubt.
Yesterday, the federal government and organized labor were unable to come to an agreement on the divisive subject of eliminating fuel subsidies. At the presidential villa in Abuja, a meeting intended to address the worries of Nigerian workers on the effect of the subsidy removal came to a standstill. Petrol pump prices rose from roughly 194 naira per litre to over 540 naira per litre in some states as a result of marketers and consumers quick hoarding and panic buying in response to the decision to end the fuel subsidy. Comrade Joe Ajaero, president of the Nigeria Labour Congress, NLC, and Comrade Festus Osifo, president of the Trade Union Congress, TUC, criticized the government's strategy and drew attention to its lack of interest in considering other options. Ajaero made clear after the lengthy meeting that Labour wanted the administration to get back to operation as usual. He questioned why the government was straying from the law that had previously set the expenditure cap and further emphasized that the subsidy provision had been in place until the end of June. In response to the government's assertion that there weren't enough finances to keep the subsidy going, Ajaero questioned the relevance of government. One of President Tinubu's advisors, Dele Alake, spoke on behalf of the administration and characterized the meeting as a strong interaction while highlighting the importance of the shared objective of prosperity and stability for Nigeria. Plans to end poverty through improved governance, transparency, and accountability in the West African energy sector have been made public by the Economic Community of West African States, the Commission of the West African Economic and Monetary Union, and the Commission of the European Union under the 11th European Development Fund. According to reports, the program titled AGOSEAO, Agose Ayo, cost £32 million to develop and was due to conclude in April 2022. It was officially inaugurated in April 2018. However, a two-year extension at no additional expense to cover the period from May 2022 to April 2024 was allowed due to delays in project implementation brought on by the COVID-19 epidemic. The news was announced at the Fourth Steering Committee gathering Improving Governance of the Energy Sector in West Africa, held on Tuesday in Abuja and hosted by ECOWAS. The EU representatives to Nigeria, the Benin Republic, and Burkina Faso were present at the meeting, which was held at the Stratton Hotel in Abuja. The West African Powered Pool, the ECOWAS Regional Electricity Regulatory Authority, the German Agency for International Cooperation, the Energy Charter, the British Council, and the NTU International AS were all represented at the meeting as well. According to Mr. Bayonibe Dabire, Director of Energy and Mines for ECOWAS, there is a framework for cooperation and an agreement between ECOWAS, the EU, and all the bodies involved to improve the West African energy sector. All transport fees levied against commercial drivers in the state have been halted, according to Alex Oti, the governor of Abia State. This was said in a statement released on Wednesday by Mr. Ferdinand Ekoma, the special advisor to the governor on media and publicity. He said that the order was in keeping with the governor's election pledge to clean up the state's tax collection practices and put an end to all types of extortion, intimidation, and harassment of drivers. According to a World Health Organization assessment, over 30,000 people have died in Nigeria as a result of smoke-related diseases in 2022. The Global State of Tobacco Harm Reduction publication says 4.1% of the adult populations in the country, or about 4.5 million people, currently smoke. Of those who smoke, 7.9% are men, while 0.3% are women. The results highlight the urgent need for the Nigerian government to prioritize a tobacco harm reduction, according to Bisoye Michael, spokesman for the Foundation for Consumer Freedom Advancement, FCFA, who was speaking at the 2023 World No Smoking Day. He asked the government to embrace the Swedish model. He claimed that by following Sweden's example, Nigeria may set an example for other African nations, providing a ray of hope for lowering smoking rates and fostering a healthier future. He added that smoking rates in Europe have fallen from 15% to an outstandingly low 5.6%, making it the lowest rate during the past 15 years. He said Sweden's incredible achievement is obvious as it draws closer to being a smoke-free society. And now over to the Presidential Election Tribunal story. The People's Democratic Party and its presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar submitted 337 documents to the Presidential Election Petitions Court in Abuja on Wednesday, disputing the declaration of President Bola Tinubu as the winner of the February 25th presidential election. The PDP and Atiku informed the court at the resumed hearing in the case that the documents in evidence related to 33 states of the Federation with the exception of Kaduna, Kano, Katsina, and Lagos states. Their legal team was led by Chief Chris Uche, SAN. The results of the presidential elections in the states of Abia, Bayelsa, Kaduna, and Ogun were among the documents that Atiku presented to the court. The petitioners informed the courts that INEC had downloaded the certified results, which were included in Forms EC8A from its IREV webpage. However, the petition's respondents raised a dispute about whether the certified true copies of the papers submitted to the court should be allowed to be admitted into evidence. In their final written addresses, they promised to explain their objections. Through a group of attorneys led by Chief Wole Olanipekun-San, Tinubu raised objections to the disclosure of data that the petitioners claimed had been taken from the bimodal voter accreditation system devices that were employed to conduct the 2023 presidential election. Also, the Independent National Electoral Commission stated that while it disagreed with the document's admissibility, it agreed with the printout of data from the beavers it had deployed to Kogi, Sokoto, and Rivers State. Similar to this, the APC objected to the documents presented as evidence. Additionally, the INEC legal team chaired by Kemi Pinheiro, SAN, disagreed with the validity of the downloaded results, much like other respondents did. The records from the beavers were nonetheless accepted by the 5-person PEPC panel led by Justice Haruna Samani and designated as exhibits PT1 to PT33. The PDP and Atiku submitted a total of 337 exhibits which were accepted by the tribunal. Up next is international news after the break. Welcome back from the break. Fernando Collor de Mello, a former president of Brazil, was sentenced to 8 years and 10 months in prison on Wednesday for corruption as part of the country's extensive car wash scandal investigation. Collor had been found guilty by the Supreme Court of accepting bribes of 20 million reais, which translates to $4 million while serving as a senator from 2010 to 2014 in exchange for securing contracts for a construction company with a petrol buyer's subsidiary. And now over to sports news. The conclusion of a permanent contract for Nigerian striker Victor Olatunji has been announced by three-time Czech champions Slovan Liberec on their website. The player, who had been put out on loan from Larnaca of Cyprus since January, was now officially in the ownership of Liberec. During his 18 league games while wearing a Liberec jersey, the 23-year-old played a total of 1,253 minutes and registered 8 goals and 1 assist. While maintaining a solid 56.9% dribbling success rate and nearly 20% shooting success rate, he also displayed his versatility and discipline on the field, receiving just 1 yellow card. And just before we go, we'll be joining Hadiza Galadima for Entertainment Tidbits.
Thank you, Confidence, and welcome to Entertainment Tidbits. Across the Spider-Verse, a Marvel franchise movie features Nigerian Afrobeat megastar Wizkid as one of the artists to be featured in the upcoming movie soundtrack. Metro Boomin, a platinum-selling producer responsible for producing the soundtrack, made the announcement that the multi-award-winning artist is set to bring Afrobeat to the latest Marvel movie franchise. Osimhen, Davido, Ace filmmaker Kule Afolayan, Charles Oweleketv, Godwin Emefiele, amongst other notable Nigerians, are recipients of the 2023 National Awards in their various cadre. The Ministry of Special Duties and Intergovernmental Affairs on the 28th of May conferred national honors on 339 prominent Nigerians for their immense contribution to the growth of the country by the past president of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari. Official date for collection of medals and certificates was slated for June 1st, but has been postponed due to circumstances beyond the control of the ministry, and a new date will be communicated to the awardees in due course. That's it on Entertainment Tidbits. I am Hadiza Galadima. Back to you, Confidence.
Thank you so much, Hadiza. And that's it for the news on Oweleketv today. But before we go, here is a recap of the headlines. Meeting between the government and Labour Union over subsidy removal has ended in deadlock. Atiku submits 337 exhibits to the court disputing Tinubu's declaration as president. Nigerians cry out over sudden increase in the price of fuel. And in sports, Liberec signs Nigerian striker Olatunji on permanent deal. Don't forget to subscribe and follow our YouTube channel at Oweleketv. Also, you can follow our social media handles on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Oweleketv. You can also visit our website at oweleket.tv. Till I come your way next time with more news stories, I am Confidence Oko. Thank you for watching. Meeting between the government and Labour Union over subsidy removal has ended in deadlock. Atiku submits 337 exhibits to the court disputing Tinubu's declaration as president. Nigerians cry out over sudden increase in the price of fuel. And in sports, Liberec signs Nigerian striker Olatunji on permanent deal.